Yeah, I'm Nick Hatherly from Australian Financial Risk Management. Just throw it in now, recent finalist or grand finalist of the Practice of the Year Award.
Very good, that's the AFA Practice of the Year Award.
AFA Practice of the Year Award, yeah, very excited about that.
Very good, congratulations Nick.
Thank
Can you
you.
tell us a little bit more about Australian Financial Risk Management?
Yeah, AFA has been going 20 years now, so we're in our 20th anniversary year. Purely a risk specialist, has been from day one, will be forever. Located in 6 offices, mainly down the East Coast, but on expansion plan to South Australia and Western Australia in the next 18 months, so still growing.
Sounds pretty great. So that's the last 20 years, Nick. We'll have a chat about that in a minute. What about before the last 20 years? What were you up to?
Oh, geez, I started work at 16 as a geotechnician.
What's that, Nick, for our viewers out there?
We used to test dirt.
Okay.
Or gravel, so road building bases and things like that. So we'd test the materials and then we'd test the compaction of the roads and we'd do the pre-investigations to design the roads, and it was dirty work. You know, I'd be sitting there with a drilling rig and oil all over me, testing dirt samples coming out from 20 metres down. And
Did you love it?
on a fine day, it was a great job.
Okay. Okay.
My resignation occurred when I'd been sitting on Kooragang Island in Newcastle. There's a Howland Westerly wind blowing, it's raining and it's freezing and I'm covered in dirt, and I just said, I'm getting out of here.
Right, so the financial services sector seemed pretty attractive after that, did it?
No, I went from there to the Commonwealth Bank. I had 8 years in the Commonwealth Bank, probably the second half of that in lending. I finished up managing the senior managers in a loan book in a very big branch there, which when I look back, I had no right to be making the decisions I was making. But that's banks.
Oh, there you go. What about before then? What did you want to do when you were growing up, when you were in school? Did you have a particular career in mind?
No.
No?
No idea. That's why I finished up as a geotechnician. I got into year 11 and said, this isn't for me, and I got a job.
Okay, congratulations. So that was your first job as a geotechnician?
Geotechnician, bank, commercial real estate, and then into this business with Phil Young. A lot of people know.
Okay, so commercial real estate in there for a brief amount of time, Nick?
4 years.
Okay, how was that?
Newcastle. That was a great learning curve.
Okay.
As my mother likes to say, Nicholas, you've got a degree of life. And all the things I've done in the past to build systems, processes, ways to operate, knowledge around financial structures and financial statements, and so all that sort of fell together beautifully in the risk market. And we started looking at people's lives, people's businesses, and how we identify risk. So it actually all served a purpose. And I always remember saying, and he's still a good friend of mine, my first boss in that first geotechnician job, and I said to him, mate, you have no idea that you are responsible for my whole work career. My work attitude, my ethic, and my learning curve, and that process and procedures that we had to implement back in those days. So
okay, so that's pretty brilliant.
1981.
1981, so that was when you sort of gravitated into the risk
1980, God. Yeah,
okay.
sorry.
So that means you've been in the sort of financial, at least financial services sector for 37 years or thereabouts, Nick, is that about right?
Yeah, or 20 plus 8, plus the rest. Yeah, I've been working for a long time.
All right, so you've been around for a little while. What do you do when you're not in the risk market? What do you do with your spare time?
Well, when the body cooperates, that's what happens when you start getting old. I love surfing.
Okay.
I'm a very strong rugby enthusiast and past player.
Legal union?
Check this head.
Okay.
Rugby union.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for clarifying that for our Southern States audiences. We really appreciate it.
Wasn't a mungo, no. That's right.
All
Doesn't
right.
everybody know rugby union?
Yeah, silly question. It was a really silly question in the end. Back to the present, AFRM. What are you doing? What are you looking forward to as a business? And what are you looking forward to personally in terms of your career and your business?
Wow. The big one, which you know about, Pete, is we're building a claims advocacy business on a very large scale to create a better outcome for people making claims on a broader perspective than just giving them a cheque. We think what's going on, particularly in the industry super fund area, is really sad, and we can do a better job by interposing an advocacy service in there. If nothing else, push the solicitors out of the industry, because I think it's a travesty they come in and take such a big fee for it. So we're within weeks of launching that.
Well, that sounds pretty great. So you're talking about effectively an affordable advocacy service for the general public, Nick, or just your clients?
No, my clients get it for nothing, and we've been doing that forever. We constantly manage 80, 90 claims in our business. We've got a very large risk book. This is for general public, the industry fund, super trustees to take note of. I think that's where they need the help. They need to engage with their clients earlier in the claim process. So I've been talking to those sort of groups. And just, yeah, anybody who needs a claim.
Okay, it sounds pretty great. We'll see how that rolls out, Nick. What about the future as far as you're concerned? Are you ever going to retire, or is this your passion that you're going to hang on to forever?
That's a great question. You know, if I knew the answer, I'd tell you, Pete, but I think like most people, just fade out slowly and gracefully will do me. I'm only 53, so...
Right, so a bit of time
somewhere
to go
into the
then, Nick.
60s. Yeah, yeah.
All right, fine.
I have a succession plan, and that's in place, so that's good. But,
Okay.
you know, I like what I do. I like helping people. That's what we say at AFRM, helping people, help more people.
Sounds pretty great. The industry itself, the future of the industry, it's been going through a period of effectively evolutionary change. How do you see the future for the risk advice sector?
It's always going to be a massive sector, and I think it needs to improve its delivery. You know, in a business my size, we look inside other businesses and acquisitions and mergers and things like that, and I tell you, I don't like what I see. And I think it's a specialist industry. I'd like to see that they do get separated. Risk and investment are two different beasts. There's a whole lot to know about risk. Actually, what I say about risk is all those people who dabble in it don't know what they don't know. And that's really sad, because when it comes to a claim, that's when it gets tested. The problem with risk is, Russell Collins is sitting over there, probably agree, you know, only 1%, 2% gets tested at claim. And that's when we've got to be there and have done a great job. And I see too much out there that I don't like. But I think the way we're going, and there's a focus on it, it's going to lift everyone's game, and I think that's good.
All right, so that's an important message to finish off with. Notwithstanding, you're probably never going to retire. Have you got a bucket list? If so, what's on it?
Bucket list. I'm going to surf until the body gives up on me.
Sounds pretty great. Great way to end. Nick Hatherly, thanks for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.